end, whoops, that's not what I meant to do, which in the end, I did do a lot of damage, and I could have, but I should have focused on the bunker, and this game would have been over. He would have had nothing. He would have had this, which he's not producing a Banshee off of. He's not producing any, he's not producing cloaking, and this game could have been over if I hadn't focused on the SCVs. And now that I'm looking back on it, and I only played this game about 15 minutes, or not 15 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes ago. That number got lower as I kept going. I'm kicking myself for it, because that's really annoying. You see now I had some reinforcing roaches that I need to get, hang on. And you can see, look at this. We'll go, oops, income. I am so far ahead of him in income tab, in the income tab. Not even in just like gas, just like in minerals too, or not even just minerals, just like gas. And did I know that these guys were going over here? I don't think I knew that these guys were coming over when I started, when I was playing. I'm a big fail. Okay, well, you guys knew that already. Even listened to me commentate for 2 months? A month now? I don't know. Well, either way, these guys are now up here, getting... If I had been watching the minimap, they'd be getting really darn good scouting because I know when he'd move out. Which, you know, maybe that was my plan. I don't really think it was. But, yeah, whatever. Okay, you can see at this point, I do have an infestor out. Or, yeah, okay, that's correct grammar. And what's this? He now has a Banshee on the field. Now, I expect this from every Terran player I go up against. I honestly see this coming, since this has happened to me so many times. I see this coming every match I play against Terran. Just like I see being Zergling rushed, which I played a game before this, and I felt really bad because I got Ling rushed. I almost always see that coming, and I saw it coming, I scouted it, and I didn't do anything about it. Such a moron. I don't know what the heck was going through my head. Alright, you can see at this point, my only anti-air are my 2 queens, which is good, but there's no creep highway connecting here, so that's bad. My queens can't get it here fast enough, and these infestors, which you're gonna see in a moment, you're gonna see me use, and these Zerglings just sitting here getting killed. Now, I fungal growth the Banshees, which is good, and which is very good, and now I'm throwing down infested Terrans. I'm whittling them down because I know he's probably not going to be able to kill this expansion again. I have infestors, I have another queen, now that the infested Terrans are out, they're just going to be totally destroyed. You can see I'm getting a Baneling nest. I was thinking at the time, okay, let's Baneling bust his front, which now that I'm thinking on it, oh my gosh, again, I'm kicking myself for all these stupid things. I need to remember this so I never make this mistake again. I need a Baneling bust. 8 Banelings, or a couple Banelings on the supply depot. Rest spent on here, with followed up by roaches. Game's over, GG. It's done. I'm such a moron. Sorry guys, I'm just like, I'm blown away by this. I don't understand what's going on. I really do suck at this game. Alright, anyway, whatever. Go back to the production tab. You can see I'm producing 14 drones. Sorry there, guys, I spit a little bit. I was so eager. I was like, 14 drones, yeah! You see 14 drones just popped. I'm like, well, crud, that sucked. I lost my queen, but, you know, I held off the Banshees, and that's a lot of resources that he's down. You can see he killed off a lot of workers, which, yeah, now, I still have 45 workers to 27, but he's pulling ahead considering he has mules. He has a mule, which I think a mule is worth like 6 to 8 SCVs. I've claimed my 3rd, which he hasn't seen yet. What was that noise? Anyway, whatever. But what's this? He's sending... Oh, okay, I thought he was sending out a scouting Banshee. Is he? Yes, he is. It's very smart of him. He's sending out a Banshee to scout, and it's set to attack move, and guess where it ends? My 3rd base. And I don't see this coming, because I don't have any watchtowers. Which... Again, looking back on it, oh, he's gonna snipe all the drones! Oh gosh, he's gonna snipe all my drones. Oh, I remember this happening in a game and I was so mad. And now he knows that I have a base down here. And he's actually moving it over here because he expects it to be down here. He doesn't expect that what I always like to do, for any of you who end up fighting me in a game, I always like to take the natural of a base first, if it's a 4-player map. Which this isn't really a natural, but it's actually the main Zerg, or 3rd base. But yeah, I normally like to take the natural instead of the main base. So you see I'm moving my infestors over. I'm going to try to do the same thing I did last time, maybe infested Terrans followed by fungal growth. And I am throwing down a spore collar. However, it'll cover about right here in front of the hatch. It will not cover over here. Big problem, as you'll find out in a minute. Okay, at this point, my dutiful opponent has transitioned into siege tanks. Very important unit for the Terran, especially against what I have. Infestors, things, and roaches. These roaches aren't even going to survive 2 seconds up there. I'm sitting on my infestors, and this is something I found is very helpful or useful to me recently. I'll send in like this huge attack wave, like I'm sending in right now. Even though it's not really huge. Supply box, huh? Before I continue what I was saying, I just want to point out it's 123 supply to 54. 51 of the, wow. Alright, whatever. Yeah. So, just look at, if I had thought about this game, instead of just being so focused on roaches, this game would have been over. Baneling bust followed by roaches. I really got to keep these things in mind. I may just go play another game tonight and tell you guys how that ends, and just record that. Anyway, go back to the production tab. You can see he's building 4 supply depots. I guess he's a little bit like me in that respect. Okay, you see I'm focusing down the bunker because I know the bunker is a huge point of defense, and I do get it down. I'm sending in the infestors right now. I'm going to send them over to this mineral land, or actually, I believe I decided to go into the main. However, and actually at this point, he has no detection for this, so he has no idea if this is coming. You can see nothing. You can't even see this at all. However, now how does he see this? Okay, now he actually has detection. I think he's expecting me to go air. And now I pop up, and fungal growth is worker line with everything I have. And there goes a ton of SCVs. Oh, the income tab is so bad. Again, if I had just thought about this, it would have been so much better. Ugh, if I had just gone for banelings. I have the baneling nest. I even got centrifugal hooks. Centrifugal. It is centrifugal. Oh, I'm such a motard. You guys are gonna hate on me. I'm sorry. I'll play better. That's why I'm actually practicing. You can see now he's transitioning into an armory, maybe going for Thors or just upgrades for siege tanks. Still going heavy on the Marine. This is a popular thing that I find Terrans are doing nowadays. Marine medevac siege tank. It's very good as long as you have good control over your siege tanks and their positioning. You see now, I've been working on my upgrades, especially the armor ones, because against those siege tanks, armor is going to help a lot, especially since he has nothing, which, you know, I don't really know that. And by nothing, I mean in terms of upgrades. You let my infestor slip by, and now you can see I have a 4th base, and I'm happily macroing. I'm building a couple hydros, because I'm actually building those so that I'm not harassed by banshees, which I'm about to be in a second. And you're about to see this spore crawler fail on me. This thing was such a waste. What am I looking at? Resources tab. Oh, okay. Man, you can see at this point I have a huge economic lead, and not only just for Zerg. And I'm also making a huge push here. Now, 4 siege tanks is a big problem. It's a really big problem. And you can see I'm sending in the infestors first, and I'm bringing them in here, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. They're now in position, and now I'm being bombarded. I'm moving the infestors over here. I don't really know why I'm moving them over here. Maybe I just told them to come over here, and they couldn't really come out of the buildings. Now I'm popping up. They're getting sieged, but now I have no more energy on my infestors. Meanwhile, at the front, the bunker's gone down, but it will be enough. The hydros are getting mowed down, and the roach is already dead. And it looks like the Terrans are going to clean this up, not before I see that he's transitioned to Thors, however. And I totally lost track of this overseer, and I believe he escapes with barely any health. And there we go. He gets off a nice, good scout. Now at this point, his banshees are harassing my 3rd, and I'm sending up some spore crawlers, hoping that just sheer numbers can overwhelm him. And look, this spore crawler cannot attack the banshees. Still a huge economic lead, but what are drones if you have no bases to mine off of? Spent some drones over here, and I do have a changeling on the field. Now, if I remember correctly, I did nothing with this changeling. And now that I've looked back on it, I don't even remember. I know I didn't do anything with this changeling. And looking back, I forgot this changeling existed. I am such a fail at this game, I swear. You can see I'm not really focusing on my main base because I'm focusing on getting all these guys getting killed and all my drones going away. This game is... I knew when I was playing this game I was playing it very bad. I just didn't know what I could do differently, and... I could have done so many things different, like using this changeling. come all my drones. They're going to come over here and mine, completely oversaturating that. Here are my two infestors that I don't have set to any hotkeys and now full energy could totally be getting used. Here are all my drones. What's the income tab look like? Still about double for me over him, but you know, at this point, look at all these idle drones. I believe there's 15 here and all. So yeah, I'm now down to 3 bases on against a 2-basing Terran who is rapidly running out of minerals. He almost has nothing left in his main, and he's not even very well saturated here at his natural. Banshees have now found my other expansion, which I did throw 3 spore crawlers, up. I already had one over here, but I realized, well, that's not going to do anything. So I do snipe both. Yes, I do snipe both Banshees. I did actually see that on the minimap during the game, despite the fact that I just said 0 APM. And you can see now I've transitioned into an ultralisk cavern. I'm like, well, okay, what can beef its way in here through this army the best for Zerg? What could it be? My favorite unit, the ultralisk. In case you guys don't know, because if you didn't watch my Zerg tutorial video, which I think was actually my first ever video, I love Ultralisks. They're my favorite unit in StarCraft. I'm working, and they're so amazing. They can get up to 5 armor if you upgrade them with the chitinous plating. And yes, it is pronounced chitinous. That is the scientific way to say it. And the Zerg Carapace ground Carapace level 3, they get 5 armor. That is so much damage. Considering that he is 0/0. That is so much damage reduction, and now he knows that I'm taking a 4th base up here, which I did transition into. However, I feel totally safe in my stupid little world. As my base gets scouted, I actually came over here and watched that. I know this army's moving out, and what am I doing? What can I do? I have 2 Ultralisks and 2 Roaches. At this point, I'm actually thinking tactically. I'm like, okay, what can I do about this expansion? It's lost. I honestly don't know what to do with my expansion at this point. I have no army, and I do try to move it out a couple times, but then I think to myself, I'm like, well, that'd just be useless. My enemy now researching Stimpack at the 30-minute mark. Totally normal transition. Siege tanks into Stimpacked Marines, totally normal. You can see at this point, my money is very low, but that's not from spending it all. That's from, I'm not very well saturated over here. A lot of my drones over here died, my hatchery died, and this thing's about to die, because he's dropping it. So at this point, my Terran opponent is in really good shape. He's free to expand.